So, did I get a card? Kind of yes, and also no. So what happened was, I rushed back from work to make sure I was home in plenty of time for 1 p.m. because they didn't really confirm what time they were going to launch, did they? Some places were saying 1 p.m, some places were saying 2 p.m. Obviously, this is UK time. So I made sure I was home for 1 p.m, refreshing that page. Actually, I had 7 different websites open. I had Overclockers, Novatech, Scan, box.co.uk, another random one I'd never heard of, but the AMD site linked me to, Curry's PC World. I think that was pretty much all of them. Did I say Novatech? I think I did. But anyway, I had all those open. I was logged into every single one, ready, created a couple of accounts on the ones I haven't used before, refreshing the page from 1 o'clock till about 5 past, nothing changed. So I thought, okay, must be 2 o'clock. So I come back at 2 o'clock, 55 minutes later, doing the same thing. A couple of sites went down straight away. Box went down straight away. Novatech went down straight away. Overclockers was refreshing all right, and Scan was refreshing all right, as was Curry's PC World, and one other random one that I've forgotten the name of. Anyway, I kept refreshing, got to about 10 past 2, and there was nothing on any of them. And I'm like, well, maybe it isn't launching at 2 o'clock either. And I thought perhaps they were staggering the time or keeping the time quiet to help try and stop bots and scalpers, or essentially it's the same thing, trying to get the cards because they know they're coming out at a specific time and a specific price, because the price hadn't been confirmed yet. Anyway, I keep refreshing over the next 20 minutes, and who has it popped up first? Scan popped up first. Oh, eBuyer was the other one as well. So Scan popped up first, £599 for the XT, and a bit less for the non-XT variant. So I clicked through on those. There are 2 cards for the XT, Power Colour and Sapphire. They had the price there, and they had the little counter that says 8 people are buying this card right now, but there was no add to cart button. And I'm like, oh, keep refreshing it, and hopefully I'll get one of those. That didn't happen. Then they went from having the price to not having the price at all, so I'm assuming that was when they ran out of stock. During this time, eBuyer popped up with the same 2 variants of the XT, Power Colour and Sapphire, no price, and just said coming soon. So I was like, well, that website can be closed, there's no point looking at that one. And then eventually, about 20 past 2, Overclockers, could even have been 25 past 2, Overclockers finally has 6800 XT, 6800 on the left-hand side. So I clicked through, they had Sapphire and Power Colour as well, I believe. Yeah, they did. And they were £670, so an extra £70 and a penny, and they were straight saying pre-order. And it said in the text, pre-order for the 25th, which is a week today. And it said stock very, very limited. So I'm like, last time I was trying to buy a 3080, like 6 weeks ago or whenever it was they launched, from Overclockers. Overclockers just took everyone's money with like zero intention of actually having, or knowing that they've got enough stock coming in to fulfill them. I ended up being over 2,000th in the queue for a 3080. And people that are still in the queue now are looking at spring for their 3080s. I mentioned this before. It's a waste of time. What's happened this time with Overclockers is they had them straight there for pre-order. They said 25th. I'm like, okay, let's get a pre-order in and just see what happens. Within 5 minutes, the pre-order option was gone. So it looks like they're either only taking, and the Power Colour one went off out of the 2, disappeared from pre-order first, with the Sapphire one following about 2 or 3 minutes later. So it looks like they're really trying to manage things better here. Either they've only taken pre-orders up to the volume of cards that they know they've got coming on the 25th, if they do know how many they've got coming, or they've just limited the number of pre-orders because they're trying to be sensible, not piss people off by taking their money and potentially holding on to it for months, which is what's happening with the Nvidia cards with the 30 series. So I've got a little bit of hope, and I got one of these pre-ordered within 5 minutes of them appearing. So I'd like to say that's pretty quick. I don't know, but it's global, so to speak, although we're UK in this case. But I'd like to hope there's actually a chance then of me maybe getting one on the 25th, or at least them, you know, telling me, yep, we've got your card in and we'll get it out to you. But there's still no guarantees. You know, the 5000 series CPUs launched, was it last week, I think, maybe just over, and they basically did the same thing there. They pre-ordered up to a certain amount and now the pre-order's gone. A friend of mine's pre-ordered one. He was 177th in the queue at the end of the first week. I think it's the Friday they update the list. And a week later he was at like 164. And they said they didn't have any stock come in. It's just that like 9 people or 12 people had cancelled, and that's why he moved down the list. So, you know, he doesn't know how long that's going to be. He could be waiting months now, because it literally was 2 weeks and have any stock coming at all. But who knows? So I've got a glimmer of hope, because they're obviously expecting some cards in on the 25th, the AIB cards, or they shouldn't be taking people's money at all. But, you know, let's see if they've learned from the 3000 series launch, and even a little bit from the 5000 CPU series launch a week ago. And I think one of the biggest problems, I was talking to my friend Björn, who's pre-ordered the CPU, one of the biggest problems I think we've got here, PlayStation 5, new Xbox series have just released, or I think the PlayStation's out, the Xbox might be any day if it hasn't already. I don't keep abreast of consoles really. They're both using AMD CPUs and GPUs, although they call them something else. They're like an SoC, is it they call them? They're all in one or something anyway. But when the likes of Sony and Microsoft say to you, if you're AMD, we want so many million of these chips to put in our new games consoles that we're going to launch in November 2020, you just say yes, don't you? Because it's like, that's the biggest order you're going to get all year long. You don't care about the likes of me or you with our single purchases for our home PCs. I don't mean jack. So they've definitely prioritised the new console releases. And so as a result, we're going to be getting the dregs of the production availability for our cards. But, you know, I'm feeling a little bit more positive than I was about the 3080 situation. So we'll see what happens in a week's time on the 25th, see what sort of updates we get. But let me know how you guys got on. Did any of you actually manage to get a card from Scan, actually one that was in stock, and land that, and it's going to be on its way to you the next couple of days? Have any of you pre-ordered through overclockers like I have and rolled the dice as to how honest and accurate they are about what they've got coming in and what have you? And that really is the only two options. It was Scan or it was overclockers, because nowhere else had them, which surprised me a little bit. I thought a lot of the websites would all have them, at least with a pre-order option. But I mean, Box never loaded. Box.co.uk never even loaded. So maybe they did, and maybe people got to buy them. In fact, if anyone got one from Box, let us know, because maybe that's why the site was tripping over and I couldn't get it to load. But anyway, that was my experience today. I hope some of you had better luck than me, or at least similar luck, and have got on that first pre-order batch with a little bit of hope for maybe the 25th. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching and take it easy.